What is going on, you guys? It is your boy, Roy. And
it's me.
This is your boy, Roy.
We did it.
That was close. I think it was close. I think we could do better.
Okay.
We'll do better next week. We got to be like ultimately in sync. We'll get there. What is going on, friends? This is our weekly Monday live for our No Excuses 6-week challenge. We do these lives every single Monday inside of our RUF family Facebook group. And this is pre-week. This is 1 week away from our pre-week of our No Excuses challenge. So we're 1 week away from really starting to dive into things, into the education, to start this challenge, get the ball rolling, and all the things. But you guys who are already signed up, who are ready to rock and roll, you already know the drill. Your goal is to say hey, say what's up, give us a hashtag replay if you're watching on replay, and then ultimately tag your accountability buddies. You should have some accountability buddies at this point, or be searching for those accountability buddies to be prepared for this challenge, okay? I do want to say that if you have not signed up, or your accountability buddies have not yet signed up, it is not too late to register. I put a link above for you guys to go and choose which tier you want. There's an absolutely free tier, and then we have different tiers for our No Excuses for charity, which gets you a bunch of exclusive stuff if you decide to donate. One of the biggest questions, we're going through our housekeeping real quick. One of the biggest questions is, Roy, how do I track my points? How do I win prizes? How do I do all these things? Remember that to have access to the point tracking system, to get points, to be eligible to win bonus prizes, to really get the most out of this challenge, you have to be a part of the No Excuses for charity. The winners, the top 3 places, get their money back. So again, it's like a competition against yourself to actually do what you say you're going to do and put your money where your mouth is. And ultimately, whoever wins gets an opportunity to choose which charity they donate the proceeds to. So you're really competing to choose a charity that you could do something good with the money, right? And so this just makes it so much more fun. The beginning tier, the basic tier, is only $25. I really tried to make this to where anybody can do it, anybody can participate, and there's no reason not to just join the No Excuses for charity. But if you just want to stick with the free stuff, that is cool too. It is not too late to upgrade if you haven't done that yet. So, I think that's all my housekeeping. Any questions about the challenge so far?
Not yet.
Anything that I'm missing?
Nope.
Cool.
I hope you guys are ready for this talk right now.
Do
you want to tell them what's about to happen right now?
I'm nervous, you guys.
Why are you nervous?
I'm nervous about giving the talk that we're about to give. Because I feel like I have things on my notes that I've never talked about before ever.
I think you should give him a backstory first.
I will.
Okay.
But I'm nervous because I think with the things that we're going to talk about today, if I don't teach this the right way or say it the right way, a lot of you guys might not do this challenge. And that's, at the end of the day, it's fine. But the reason why I need to give this talk is because I feel like a lot of you guys have signed up for RUF and the No Excuses Challenge for the wrong reasons. And I just got back from basically a 3-day men's retreat. And for anybody who knows me, especially the people who come here at the gym, or my lovely wife here knows that whenever I leave work for a couple days and I get to be in my own thoughts, I get a little weird. I get a little weird. I get a little motivated. You guys can see I told my wife, I said, we're standing up today because I'm motivated. I'm about to drop some fire, drop some bombs. Today's one of those, I got something to say. We're going to drop some truth. And at the end of the day, truth hurts. Okay? And so I went on this 3-day men's retreat. And I've never been on a men's retreat before. And I came back from this just absolutely moved. Like moved in ways that I've never been moved ever in my life. And I came back and I started talking to Tasha. There were some things that I just needed to talk to her about, us personally and stuff. I'm usually trying to be as vulnerable as I can with you guys without exposing, this is our relationship at the end of the day, right? So I'm not going to say all
marriage
this stuff.
Talk.
But I came back just absolutely moved, and we were talking about some stuff, and our mission here at RUF is to help you build your happiest, healthiest life. That is our motto. That is what we stand for. That is who we are as a core, and that's always been the mission. And I don't know if it's me not being the leader that I need to be here at this company, or the team not all being on board of what we're doing, or just maybe how we promote these things that maybe some of you guys don't understand what this is all about. And I started talking to Tasha about the future and who we are and what we do here as a business, and she was getting excited. She's like, this is who we are, this is what we do, and this is what we need to be talking about. Okay? So I hope you guys are excited. You guys should drop some fire emojis. Drop them now, because I don't know if you're going to be dropping them later. Drop the fire emojis, tag your accountability buddies, and we're going to dive into this real talk. So, like I said, I went to this men's retreat this weekend, and I got to say that I went into this wanting to be surrounded by other guys, and one of the things that I struggle with is that I feel like I struggle connecting with other men, right? I think it's safe to say, and I think you guys can all see this, that our program is predominantly women, which is fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And we're going to take some time to talk to the men today, which I've never done before. I'm going to call you guys out. We're going to take some time to talk to the women today as well, and what this journey looks like for you guys. But I went into this thing, and the reason why I normally don't talk to guys is because maybe some of my own insecurities and things like that. But I just feel like men in general, and you guys might feel the same way, just have this ego and this complex, and they just feel like, oh, I can do everything myself, and they don't want to open up or talk about things, and it's always a pissing contest from guy to guy. It's always like, who has the bigger truck, who can bench press the most, who has the hotter wife, or has the more money, or this or that, and I hate that. It's not who I am. And so I've just never really connected with other guys because I don't want to feel that way. It's not a competition. Like, we can all win. And I was amazed to go to this retreat and watch over 450 men talk about their problems, talk about their feelings, talk about what's going on in their lives and their struggles. I've never seen it before. And the number one thing, and we'll go through like all the things that I saw and the people that I talked to and stuff, but the number one issue, the core of all of this, is every single guy felt the same way I did. And they said, I just feel alone. I don't have somebody to talk to. I don't have somebody I can trust. I don't have somebody that I can open up with about my deepest, darkest secrets and what's going on and how to overcome these things. And for the first time ever, I was like, that's what I'm going through. I don't have other guys to talk to. I sometimes feel alone, and I have these things. And what's interesting as a statistic is that over 70% of the suicide rate in America comes from men. Like, I want that to sit, like, did you hear me? Over 70% of the suicide rate in America comes from men. And it all starts with this thing of, like, guys just don't feel like they have to be men. They can't talk. They can't have their emotions. Like, but at the same time, they want the help. They want the opportunity to open up. They want the opportunity to say, this is what I'm struggling with, and I want a better life. I want to be the leader of my family. I want to be here for my wife. I want to be here for my fiance. I want to be here for my girlfriend. I want to attract somebody that's going to make me better. I want to be the example for my kids. I want these things, but I'm struggling. They want the opportunity to open up about these things, but they don't feel like that's possible. And I feel like I've done a disservice to you guys because I haven't opened up about those things that I struggle with, and it's maybe not given an opportunity to other men to be a part of this and open up about those things as well. And for the last 10 years, I have helped guys, but I've helped predominantly 98% women, and I have heard from the wives, from the women, from the girlfriends about how my husband doesn't understand me, and my husband just does this, and my husband does that, and I haven't given the opportunity for the husbands and the guys to open up and be a part of this, and us walk through this together. As husband and wife, as a community, as man and woman, and all of us coming together to help one another. And it shouldn't be that way. And so we're going through this weekend, and we're opening up about these things. And these guys are opening up, and they're talking about how they struggle. in their marriages. Almost every single guy I talked to was in a marriage, and we'll talk about a lot of that today, but I think even if you're not in a marriage or you're not married, even trying to attract the person you want in your life that's going to be a propeller on your boat and not an anchor is important. Something that I believed in my whole life, and I'm extremely thankful for my wife. It's taken those of you guys who have listened to my podcast, it's been quite the journey to find Tasha. But through this, and struggling in their marriage, and not feeling like they can open up, and not having other men in their life, they struggle with alcohol, they struggle with drugs, sexual immorality, pornography, cheating on their wife, all these other things, the secrets, the gambling, the greed, and anger. All of these things are happening inside of these guys, and they don't have an outlet. They don't have somebody to talk to, and then when they try to talk to their wife tries to confront them, it just turns into anger and frustration, then it becomes tit for tat, and then all of a sudden husband's sleeping on the sofa, or we're angry at each other, and you feel like you're 1 step forward, 10 steps back. This happens again and again and again. And the crazy thing is, I just felt like I don't know how to help. And I think I don't know how to help because of my own insecurities and things that I've been going through. And so I want to give the opportunity for guys to be a part of this, because at the end of the day, men, we need to step up for our families. We need to step up for our wives. We need to step up for our kids. And I know that you want to do that. And the reason why I bring this up is because for a lot of us, we feel like we signed up for a 6-week challenge. And we feel like we signed up for, I'm just going to work out. I'm just going to lose some weight. I'm going to do this nutrition plan, but that is not what this program is. This is a foundation for the rest of your life. I want to lose weight. Why? Well, because I want to reconnect with my wife. I want to be in control of my life. I want to kick this alcohol addiction that I have. I don't want to be dependent. I want to be able to communicate. I want to be a good example for my family and for my kids. I want to stop having excuses. I want to do these things. There's a reason why you're here and a reason why you're doing this. And at some point, you're going to have to be vulnerable and you're going to have to open up. And when I say that we're doing a lifestyle transformation, people get excited, but what does that actually mean? What does it mean to change your life? Because I promise you're not going to change your life by, I just lift some weights and I bench press. And a lot of you guys are hiding behind these things. And I'm telling you guys that this is so much bigger than you. This is so much bigger than I just want to lose weight. We're talking about giving yourself an outlet, surrounding yourself with the right people, being the man your wife married, being the man your wife needs you to be and expects you to be, to step up and lead your family and stop making excuses, to set the example for your kids of what a healthy marriage and lifestyle looks like. That starts with you. And I cannot tell you how many women come to me and say, I wish my husband would do this with me. I wish he would support me. I wish he would work out. I wish he would take care of my health. I wish we could just do this together. I hear that more than anything. More than anything. Your wife just wants you to be on board. She wants you to be around for the next 30 years. She wants you to be healthy. She wants you to be happy. She doesn't want you to be stressed. She wants you to be able to talk to her. And you won't give that to her because of your own insecurities. It is one of the hardest things. You feel alone, but you're not willing to talk about it. And I want to be able to give you the space to do that. Because this is a team effort at the end of the day. So guys who are listening, it is time to step up. It is time to stop making excuses of, I just work all day and she doesn't understand me. I'm tired of it. I used to be the same way. And for the women who are watching, who are single, it is time for you guys to start finding a man who's willing to do this with you instead of foundation with you. And for those of you guys who are in relationships and married, the women, it is time for you to get your husband on board with all these things, which brings me to talking to the women today. This is something that I talk about all the time. We're about to dive into this. Because women, here's the issue. I'm not going to just call it the guys, I'm going to call it the ladies today. You guys have gotten to a point where you feel distant in your relationships a lot of the time. Marriage is hard, you guys. This isn't meant to be a relationship talk, but I mean, I just feel like it's a part of all of our lives. It's one of the things, right? You have all the 6 pillars of like life: finances, relationships, mentally, emotional, spiritual, and physical, right? You can't not talk about it when we talk about lifestyle change. You're going to have a partner in this with you at some point, right? And things got hard. And then you had kids. And things, as you get into your 30s and 40s, they don't work the same way like they did when you were in your 20s. And you're giving all your time to your kids. You're giving all this time to be there for your husband. And you have to work, and you're wearing all of these hats. And at some point, you lose yourself because you are the nurturer. You are the glue that holds the family together. Whether you like it or not, you are. My wife keeps our family together at the end of the day. I would lose my mind without her. You are the glue, and that is a huge responsibility. But at some point, you lose yourself. You no longer prioritize you. At some point, you lost your way. If you didn't have your husband and your kids, you wouldn't even know who you are anymore. And that's a problem. And I see it all the time where you say you want to do this for your kids, and you make it all a week or two, and then you fall off. And it's like, I thought you wanted to do this for your kids. And I say that all the time, but I truly believe that you do want to do this for your kids. But maybe we haven't set you up with the right mindset and tools for you to be able to actually do that. And again, coming back to the same thing we talked about minutes, our job to provide you and understand what this journey actually looks like to make this a lifestyle change. And I see this all the time where kids eventually go to college or they leave the house, and then you're just like, well, now what? And then you fall into a depression. Or when you have your kids, you lose a sense of yourself and you have postpartum depression as well. We see this happen all the time. Just because your family is important, just because you need to prioritize your kids and you need to prioritize your husband and you need to work and you need to be the glue and nurture, doesn't mean you're not important. You are just as important as your kids. You are just as important as your husband. And you need to learn how to prioritize yourself, and you don't know how to say no. This is the issue. You don't know how to set boundaries. You guys, you are the glue. When you say, this is what we eat for dinner, it's going to be hard. Trust me, you're going to have kickback because they're used to living a certain way. But Mom, this is what we do. I'm the glue, are living a healthier lifestyle now. This is how we're going to do it. And you communicate with them, not how I'm talking to you now, because I'm drinking from a fire hose. I'm spraying you guys with the fire hose right now. But talking to them in a way of like, listen, as a family, as a unit, I want us to be able to communicate. Husband, wife, I want to be better. I want us to be better. I want to be intimate with each other. I don't want us to fight anymore. I don't want us to be angry. I don't want to be tit for tat. I don't want you sleeping on the couch anymore. I don't want this. I want to move forward with you, and this is what this looks like. I'm doing this fitness thing, and I would love for you to do it with me. We need to take control of our health so we can be happier, and we can lay the foundation for ourselves. Because at the end of the day, you guys are one. You guys are a team. You guys come first. And your kids, it's great, but at the end of the day, they're always watching you guys, and you're setting the example. But your kids will one day leave. This is your team. You cannot do this on your own, and we've said this so many times. You need to find accountability buddies. And there's no reason why your accountability buddy shouldn't be your life partner. Zero.
That's true.
So, wives, it's time for you, because guys run into this too, is to let your ego down, and maybe you need to go first and say, listen, this is what I've been noticing, and I'm sorry, and I want to be honest. And you're going to have some hard conversations, because again, you're going to might learn some things about your husband. You might realize he's been struggling with alcohol, and how to have that conversation, how to help each other, because at the end of the day, you're a team. You cannot make your husband do anything. Husbands, you cannot make your wife do anything. At the end of the day, all you can do is support them and guide them and be there for them. Okay? You might realize, man, they've been dealing with drugs, I had no idea. Or maybe they've been struggling with sexual immorality. Maybe they have been doing things that they shouldn't be doing, whether it's porn or cheating or whatever the case is, and you need to confront those things and say, this is where we're at. There was a guy this weekend. He said, and there was a video, there was actually two. The video happened first, and then I talked to the guy, and he said, I struggled with my sexual immorality for 20 years, and my wife found out, and we had to have these conversations about it, and we struggled a lot, and we went into the season of healing. And then his wife said, it's a hard conversation to have, but at the end of the day, I feel like I was married to two different men. I was married to the first guy for 20 years, and then we went through this healing period, and now I'm married to the new version of this guy, and I wouldn't trade those last 20 years to get the version of the guy that I have now. And most of you guys aren't willing to have that conversation. You're living in this lie. You'd rather just ignore it. Oh, he doesn't want to be in shape. He doesn't want to work out. He doesn't want to do these things with me. I know he's doing the alcohol. I know he's doing the sexual immorality. I know he's doing the drugs. I know he's gambling, but it's better if he just, because he's going to get angry. No, we are a team, you guys. We need to confront these things. You need to set boundaries. You need to do those things. And women, some of you guys struggle not just with your identity, but sometimes you struggle with the alcohol too. I've seen that before. Okay? We've opened up about those things as well. And sometimes you start with this foundation, you start working out together, you start eating right, you start losing some weight, you start having more energy, you start getting more confident, and it becomes addictive. At the end of the day, you're going to be addicted to something. The question is what? Are you addicted to the drugs, the alcohol, these negative things? Or are you addicted to self-development? Are you addicted to, I want to be better? Because it starts to build this snowball effect, and you say, man, we overcame this. What if we can overcome something else? What if we can overcome this next thing? What's the next stage for us? You have to be willing to do these things. And so what was so interesting, guys, is I went on this men's retreat, and the whole idea of this retreat is it's called the herd, right? And the idea of the herd, and I've actually done a talk on this before, is like the idea is the bison. And the bison understand that the storm is coming, but instead of like other cattle where they just sit down and they bunker down and they just wait for the storm to pass, they herd together. And they hit the storm head on and they walk through the storm because they know that at some point they're going to have to go through it. And the faster they can confront it, the faster they can get through it and shorten the amount of time they're actually in the storm. And the best part is that they herd together. They go through the problems together. And about 2 months ago, we created a program called Inner Circle. Now, this isn't me like trying to pitch you on joining Inner Circle, because the truth is you can't join it. It's something that, it's a journey to get to Inner Circle, right? We have a very select few people who are actually making a lifestyle change who are part of that program. But what I realized is that all the things that we were learning this weekend, we were going through with these men's, is the same foundation that they were teaching us, the same foundations that we teach you guys here. The accountability buddies, the inner circle, the surrounding yourself with the right people, the talking, the being vulnerable, the opening up, the making this a lifestyle change, not just a quick fix, not just a do this for 3 days for this weekend and then you're done. It's what do we need to do for us for the 6 weeks to make this a lifestyle change for the rest of our life. With the foundation, of course, we're going to teach you workouts and nutrition and accountability, but you have to understand that this is the foundation for the rest of your life. It does not end after 6 weeks. It does not end after you lose the weight. Because there is another level. You lose the weight, you gain the confidence. Then we got to talk about the alcohol. Then we got to talk about your relationships. Then we got to talk about your mental health. We got to talk about your eating disorders. We got to talk about your emotional health. We got to talk about these things at some point. And for some of you guys, the first step is, guess what? Just doing what we said to do for the first few weeks of this challenge. Some of you guys are still held up on the little things. Oh, I just don't know if I should get the RUF app. Oh, I don't know if I should take my progress photos. Oh, I struggle to find accountability buddies. You guys, this is so much bigger than, oh, I just need to take a photo. Like, it's time to step up and do those things so we can start moving forward to the bigger fish we have to fry. We got shit in your relationships we need to fix. We have an eating disorder we need to talk about. We have this self-confidence issue that you struggle with your whole life. We have your relationship with your parents that you struggle with. We have this alcohol addiction, this drug, this sexual, like there's so many other things that we need to work on, and you're struggling with the, man, I just didn't lose any weight this week. It is bigger than the scale. And so, the point of this talk is to get you guys ready, because I still feel like some of you guys signed up, and it's like, oh, I'm just going to do this like little 6-week challenge, and then that's it. This is not what this is about. This 6-week challenge is to set you up to say, okay, I finished this, now what? What happens in October, November, December during the holiday season? What happens January 1st, 2024? Okay, we did that. What happens for the summer of next year? What happens in 2025? What happens in January 1st, 2034? Because future you matters. And that starts with you right now. Making no excuses. and saying, I'm all in. And when we said all in a few weeks ago, it meant all in. You guys, I want this for you more than you will ever realize. And I have been moved and I am ready to but you guys have got to be on board. Somebody this weekend, I was explaining to them about our program and what we do. And he looked at me, he said, wow, I didn't realize that there's gyms that do that. I said, because there isn't. We are the only company that I know of that does this. There's companies that do workouts, there's companies that do nutrition, there's companies that do accountability, but there's no companies that are sitting here and talking about your relationships, that's talking about your mental health, your emotional health, talking about your sexual immorality, talking about your alcohol addiction, your eating disorder. Like, we want to help with these things. Because at the end of the day, the reason why you struggle to lose weight is probably because you have an unhealthy relationship with your spouse. You don't have a good grasp on your mental health and emotional health. Some of you guys struggle to take action. It's like, hey, let's just do the hard stuff first. Let's just set this foundation. Let's just get in the gym. Let's just do what we can. Let's just start tracking our food. Let's just do the things that we know we can control and set the foundation of I want to be better, no excuses. But this is a starting line, you guys. This is the starting line. So, with that being said, as we get into next week being pre-week, we're really going to start diving in to what you need to do in setting this foundation. Okay, lots of talks about workouts and nutrition over the next 6 weeks, lots of education that's going to happen, chance to win $1,000, all these great things. But I'm telling you right now that if you haven't signed up for the challenge, you need to get on board. If you have not yet been able to communicate to your friends, your family, your coworkers, and your inner circle about how important this is and getting them on board, extreme ownership, it's because either you're not excited or talking about it the right way, or you're not really all in and serious about this. Because if you talk to your husband or your wife about what I just talked about today, and you genuinely want to move forward with them, there's no reason why they wouldn't want to do this with you. You've been, listen to me, 99% in. But being 99% in still counts as not being all in. All in is all in, 100%. That was the thing that clicked with me this weekend. They were talking about relationships specifically, and he said, being 99% known is still being unknown. And that clicked for me as, hey, I need to have this conversation with my wife. And we did yesterday, and it was great, and I'm glad that we did it. And we're better because of it. But I'm telling you guys, being 99% in is still being not all in. And I need you to be all in. I need you, your inner circle, your people to be on board with this and what we talked about. Okay? And with that being said, if you have not or need to upgrade in the No Excuses for Charity, the $100 tier gets weekly calls with me. I'm sure I'll have special guests every once in a while. And we can talk about this stuff. This isn't just like, oh, you get on a call, it's like, hey, how are you guys doing? Make sure you eat your protein and make sure you're working out, and we get off the call. Like, I want to talk to you guys. I want to start building a foundation. I want you and your husband and your wife to donate $100 so both of you guys can be on these calls and work on this stuff together. I want your best friend to be on the $100 so you guys can be on this together and say, hey, what do we need to do? Because that was one of the issues I had. We have a great relationship, but they were like, hey, you need a best friend. You need that person that's willing to go to war with you. I need that guy, this is part of my journey. It's stuff we talked about, we'll talk about it later. But there's things that are missing in my life, and we're all struggling with something, you guys. You need your team, and you need to be all in. So if you've already donated $25 and you want to upgrade to the $100, email support@trainref.com or shoot me a message on Facebook, and we'll get you set up. A little finagling we need to do, but we'll make that happen for you. If you have not, or your family has not joined yet, they can join the free tier or the $25 tier, $100 or $250, doesn't matter. Okay? But all in means all in. Lifestyle change means lifestyle change. If you're here for just 6 weeks and just for workouts, you're better off going find a different program. Go find another gym and come back when you're ready. Because there's going to be things that we talk about and things that we do and things we ask of you that if you're not really all in and you're not ready for this, you're not going to do it. and you're going to feel lost and helpless. You need to be ready for change. So, my last ask for you guys is that if you're all in, I need you to comment below and say that you're all in. Give me 100%. Give me a fire emoji. Give me an all in, because at the end of the day, this has to happen for you. And you will not change your life if you're doing this alone. Some of you guys have taken the first step and you've gotten a coach. You started surrounding yourself with the right people in your gym people, but you're still struggling at home. And you haven't been able to figure that out yet. Some of you guys have figured out your stuff at home, but you're struggling with your friends and your community and outside of those things. You guys, this is a lifestyle transformation. This is what RUF is. This is what this means. When you wear this shirt, you wear this logo, I want people to know and be like, oh, when they see the stickers on the back of the cars, be like, oh, that's more. I know what they're going through. They can be my people. I can talk to them about these things. I can talk to them about the problems that are going on in my life, and it's okay, and they understand. That's what this represents. And I don't take that lightly. I can breathe now. I feel like that was good. I only cried once, so that was good.
You got everybody else crying.
Good.
That was good.
Do we have any questions? I don't think we will.
I don't think anybody has questions. I think everybody's fired up.
Good.
I think that there's a lot of people maybe reconsidering why they signed up for this challenge in the first place. Mm-hmm. And, anybody who's worked with me personally knows that I say it all. Like, that's what I preach to you. If you are one of my clients, that is one thing that I say to you all the time. This is so much more than fitness. This is not just about fitness to me. This is not just about you getting back into shape and getting your 20-year-old body back. This is not about, you being strong and lifting whatever. That's a piece of it that makes you feel good, but it is not what this is about for me. This is about you getting your life back. This is about you getting your confidence back. This is about you getting your relationship back. This is about you finding purpose in your life again. And this is about you teaching your kids that there is so much more to life than just what you look like on the outside. And if you can make the change, then so can they. And so can your husband. And so can your wife. And so can the friends around you. I can't even tell you the amount of people that I meet and see, and they want to talk to me about Tasha, what did you do? How did you do that? How did you go from drinking every single day of your life to running this business with your husband? How did you go from being so depressed and down on yourself to feeling like you can do whatever the hell you want? It is so much bigger than fitness. This is just a piece. But what we're doing is not just about the fitness. And if you are here just to, I just want to work out, you're not in the right place, because that's not what we do. And when Roy came back from this, I've been waiting for him to get in this mode, because I'm like, this lights me up, you guys. This gets me excited, because this is what I tell people when they walk into the gym. This is more than what you've ever experienced, and now everybody that's a part of this is going to feel that. And it's makes me cry just thinking about the changes that we made. Larissa, we had a conversation similar to this actually not long ago, how it changes more than just your body. So that's good. That's my little rant off of everything that you had to say.
Well, you guys, I think it's to say that I'm excited. I'm excited about the future. The things that we talked about today have always been the mission here at RUF. Always. A lifestyle transformation program. I just think that this retreat that I went on moved me in a way to give me more direction on what needs to happen to get us there and get all of us on board. There are new things and new programs and new things that we're building to reflect what we talked about today and to get more into that nitty-gritty. And things like that. So again, I highly, highly, highly recommend, if you haven't already, and if you can, again, you guys, I have nothing to sell you guys. This is a free challenge, but if you have not considered doing the $100 tier at least, I think you will get the most out of that for this challenge. The most out of the $100 tier, because every week we will have those group calls where we can talk about some of this stuff, if it's what's going on in your life. Okay? And you can have these other people where you can open up and start to connect and get through these issues maybe that you're having. Okay? So again, if you have not done the $100 tier and you need to upgrade from 25 to 100, shoot me a message so we can kind of get you taken care of. If you're doing the free stuff and you want to upgrade, you can just do that on your own because you haven't donated any money yet. But I highly recommend that. If you want to get the RUF app, it works in conjunction with this challenge. I highly recommend it. It's $29 a month. Please do not go to the App Store and download the RUF app and try to log in. It will not work. You need to use the link above. You need to purchase the membership first. Then you'll create your account and your login, and then you can get into the app. Okay? So do that. And then most importantly, you guys, the one thing that I keep emphasizing, and I come back from this weekend with even more fire and more emphasis on it, the number one thing that you can do to start changing your life, when we talk about the 3 pillars, is not workouts, it is not nutrition, it is accountability. It is your inner circle. It is your spouse. It is your best friends. It is your coworkers coming on board and you finding your tribe and your people. One of the things that, this is just, we go to church, one of the things we learn at church, one of the things the pastor says is that, hey, we learn in rows, but we grow in circles. Okay? You guys are going to learn in rows by doing this and listening to us, and that's great. But you grow in circles with your spouse, with your friends, with your coworkers, with your tribe, your inner circle, your people. And I cannot emphasize that enough. You have to have the hard conversations. You have to be willing to do the hard work. This is not easy. Listen, it sounds great. It sounds great when I'm saying all these things right now. You're like, yeah, I'm motivated, I'm going to do it. And you're going to go to your husband, and you're going to go to your wife, and you're going to go to your best friend, you're going to go to your coworkers. This is how it was explained to me. You guys are drinking from a fire hose right now. Like, you're amped up. That fire hose is going 1,000,000 miles per hour. And you're going to go to your spouse and your best friend and your coworkers and these people, and you're going to start spraying them with this fire hose, and they didn't watch this video. They have no idea what you're talking about. It's going to be a lot for them. You need to give them grace. You need to talk to them. You need to say, hey, listen, this is how it was said to me, and that's how I approached my wife. I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you about something that I learned about myself that you probably already knew. My wife was really appreciative that I said it that way. I learned something about myself that you probably already knew, and we need to talk about it. Listen, I know that we haven't been the best at communicating. I know that I've been angry because of this, and this. I know that maybe you've been doing this. And listen, I want us as a team, I want to just be better. I want to rekindle this relationship. I want to fix our marriage. I want to do these things. And I think it starts with us having something that we can do together. And this is maybe the first step. Can we just please, can we do this together and like be all in? Like, and you know what? They might say no. Maybe they're not ready. That's okay. You can't control them. You can't be mad. You give them grace. Listen, I get it. What can we do? Like, what can we do to start fixing this and go through this healing phase and grow together, right? Meet them where they're at. Could you imagine if you joined this program? I was like, okay, we're doing CrossFit 2 hours a day, and you have to eat nothing but chicken and broccoli. You'd be like, there's no fucking way, right? I have to meet you where you're at, just like you need to meet your family, your friends, your coworkers where they're at. Maybe they're not where you're at, and that's okay. But just being on board with the fact, hey, I'm willing to at least listen. I'm willing to at least show up. Because at the end of the day, the thing that I realize is that husbands are hard. We're hard-headed, we are, right? But what I realize is that guys feel alone. And they want to be the leader of their family. They want to help. They want to be better for their wives. Listen, I can promise you, your husband wants to be intimate with you. They want a healthy marriage. They want to be happy. They don't want to fight all the time. They don't want to be out of shape. They don't want to have no energy. Like, they want to do these things, I can promise you. And I learned that about myself, and I learned that about 450 other guys this weekend. Okay? And I will do my best effort as well to make sure that we don't just talk to the women, but we are also talking to the men, and we're creating programs for both from here on moving forward, because at the end of the day, we need to be the tribe and the circle for each other. Okay? And everybody's welcome here. So, that being said, anything else?
Woo! Tracy wants to know when we have a platinum level.
When do we have a platinum level? Maybe next challenge.
Maybe next challenge.
I got to figure out what the platinum. I had a hard time figuring out what the gold program was going to be.
We'll come up with something though, Tracy. You give us a challenge here.
Yeah, and Tracy, I think the next step, and Tracy's already a part of our Inner Circle program. It's something very, very, very new. It's something for people, just so you guys know. The phases of this, and we'll talk about this during the challenges. We have our free challenge, and then we have our accelerator program, right? Where you like get a one-on-one coach and you work through those things. And it's the people who make it through the accelerator program get the opportunity to be a part of Inner Circle. And Inner Circle is a very, very, very new program for people, again, like to make it through the accelerator program, to have a coach to realize, oh, I do want a lifestyle change. Like that, those are the people we let in, because I am very particular about this inner circle group, because I want us all to be each other's tribes and be able to talk about these things, right? I don't want a bad seed in our inner circle group, right? I don't want a bad seed in any of our groups, but very like, right? And so this is a new program, and the idea is to eventually also grow that. So if you want a platinum level, like that's going to be, and Tracy, you're already part of that, so maybe I got to make something even bigger than inner circle, but that's like way down the road. But the idea, again, is to grow that, to grow our inner circle. And, oh God, I don't want to talk about all these things, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. Like, our goal is to start running retreats, right, for you guys, to be able to start having a place where, I don't know if it's going to be 10 people or 100 people, or maybe just one couple comes. I don't know, like to where you guys can come. Maybe we go up into the mountains, and like we have like this thing where we just sit down for a weekend, and like we go through it. We go through the nitty gritty. We have the lessons. We have the speakers. We have the things. And so I don't know if that's something that you guys would be interested in. You can drop it in the comments
below. When Roy gets amped about challenges and new things, I get amped about putting on a retreat.
Yeah,
That's like my ultimate mission in life, is to be able to do retreats.
I've always wanted to do retreats, you guys. I think a lot of me was like, hey, it starts with a summer event. We had a member the other day say, oh, well, when are you going to do more retreats and more events? It's like, well, I got to get you guys to the summer event first. And she goes, maybe I should start going to that thing. We do a summer event every summer, you guys. And the more we can, like, because we're still trying to figure out just how to get you guys out here and, like, be a part of what we're doing and, like, really being all in, you know? And so I think it starts with the summer event. You know, 2024 summer event, I think it starts with that and getting more people here for that. So we can ultimately say, okay, if we can get this many people for this, then now we can start doing this thing, right? So if you guys want that, again, the way we do more things ultimately in growing is by building our community, which again starts with you guys. Getting your husbands, getting your wives, getting your best friends, getting your coworkers, getting these people like your inner circle on board and like being in it, right? All of you being in it. And that's what grows all of this. And that's what grows all of this, gives us more opportunity to say, hey, look, let's do more things for you guys to continue to build this lifestyle, right? So that wasn't in my notes. That was free for you guys. So I won't charge you, I promise.
Really just put that one out there, didn't you?
Yeah.
We're just letting y'all in on our walks and our conversations.
So I appreciate you guys. I respect your time. I love you guys more than you'll ever realize. This is literally my life's work. Like, this is what I do. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you being on here. I put this on my personal Facebook as well, so you guys can have the opportunity to share this, and you guys can tag your accountability buddies. You can share this to your personal Facebook. Again, get the word out of like what we're doing and who we are, because more people need this than you realize. And I realized that this weekend. Like, people just don't know what RUF is, and people think, oh, I didn't know a gym does that. We're not a gym, but we're a lifestyle transformation company, right? And so getting the word out there, there was 450 guys that struggle, and I can promise you probably at least 25% of them, at the very core of anything, struggle with their relationships and alcohol. And just working out and getting their nutrition in check and fixing their relationship through this and doing it together and realizing what alcohol does might just fix that. 25% would be about 120 guys. Could you imagine? And if their wives were on board, that'd be like, we would impact, right? Not people part of a program, impact 200 lives just from that. You guys, people need this. Okay? So I appreciate you guys. Be all in. I'm excited to get all this stuff rolling next week. If you need to upgrade, message me or email us. And other than that, just remember, we don't pray for an easy life.
You're in a rough one.
Let's go earn those cookies, you guys.